Hi, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Community Coffee. I'm your host, Trina Myers, aka the Zebra Queen. And I have a wonderful guest with me today. I have Miss Florida, Tina Sarcevich, and we go back a couple of years. So I'm really excited to have you on today, Tina. We're going to talk about positivity and enlightenment and how people can get involved in their community or possibly even in your community with activities that you may have going on. So, thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, Trina. It's such a joy to be here and to catch up with you. It was such a fabulous experience when we met at the United States pageant. We truly did develop a sisterhood that has really lasted, and I know it's going to last throughout the years. It's just been fabulous, our group of sisters that we had.
Absolutely. It's hard to believe that 2 years have already flown by.
I know it has been quick, but the great part is that all of us have used that opportunity in our titles to really venture out and to make impacts in our community and develop relationships.
Absolutely. You have a new title. So, can you tell us a little bit about, what do you have coming up?
Yes, thank you. I do. I am Miss Florida Classic Universe for the Universe pageant, and it definitely wasn't on my radar. And the Universe pageant, Mrs. Universe, um, reached out to me and just thought that I would be great in this position, and told me about the opportunity and connected me to the right people to submit my paperwork and stuff. And I was chosen, and I'm elated because this pageant does so much in the community, and especially Mrs. Classic Universe. She's such a phenomenal mentor. Her name is Laura Kircher, and she does so much work in here in Florida. And she has just taken me under her wing and just taught me so much and got me involved in her activities. And we just have been having a blast.
And from what I recall, because I believe, Community Coffee started out with my co-host, Renee, who we, lost unfortunately in December. She was the reigning Miss Classic Universe, I believe, correct?
Yes, she was. And what a fine job she did. She wore this title, she wore the title well because she did win the Miss Classic Universe. And she was so dedicated to her causes. It didn't matter what she did it with a passion. She did radio, she was for domestic violence, she was for people, she was for voting rights, she was pro, like, let's wear our mask, let's be healthy. She really impacted her community and was bold to make a difference as a world changer.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing that is, I think where you and we both really like connecting with community and making those impacts and those changes in our communities. And I think that's why we chose systems, pageant systems that represent that. And, the one I'm in with Global Continental and then your classic Universal, it's the same thing. They're all about volunteerism and making those changes in the community.
Absolutely. And my like I have a roommate who's a queen, and she is in your pageant system. So it's exciting to watch her prepare for pageant coming up as well. And it is about, service and impacting the community, just as you said, to make a difference and to really touch the hearts and lives of people around us.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the services that you're involved in, because I know you're involved in quite a bit.
Yeah, Trina, I am. And the reason I do it, I've been doing it for over 20 years, serving my community. And it's because I came from a place of brokenness. Okay. And out of brokenness, I never forget where I came from. Okay. And I never forget the pain that I felt. So I am actively involved with the homeless, serving the homeless, packing lunches, going on the streets, going to the shelters. I've been a very big advocate for the homeless people and shelters for over 6 years now. I also work with the seniors, the assisted living homes, doing manicures and taking my little Yorkie poo there for service care, in addition to doing the chapel. So the great news is that I have been out of the assisted living homes for over 2 years due to the climate of the times with COVID, and after volunteering for 18 years with the seniors. So I just got back into a seniors environment, which I will start the first week in May. So I'm really excited that that's going to come upon. I'll be doing that after this interview. So I'm just so grateful to get back in there and just hear the stories and times of the seniors, and they just love us, love the outside world when we come in. And I just want to tell you, you don't need to do manicures. You can go sit with a senior and just like spend an hour of your time, because really they just want people to talk to, to
Right.
feel alive and hear what's going out in the world around us.
Right. And they have some amazing stories. I think we could really learn a lot for those individuals. And I don't care how old you are or how young you are, there's some really great stories. And you're absolutely right. I think it's great to just go in there and sit and listen.
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I love to hear their stories, and I ask them what their hobbies used to be. And I remember when I started carrying a cell phone, and the seniors were so enthralled with that. I mean, I had like several 90-year-olds and a couple 100-year-olds, and one lady was 104, and they were just so tickled with the cell phone because it's something that they never seen before.
Right, right. Technology just wasn't uh, what it is today.
Yeah, and we take it for granted so much.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. And that is kind of, you're an ordained minister, correct?
Yes, I am. And I just am finishing up my master's in divinity. So that will be on the back burner. And in fall, I will start the PhD program. And that will take me a couple years. So I'm excited
Right.
for the learning opportunity ahead of me, the growth, the challenge, the tears, and everything else that comes along with it. But this is really an exciting time for me.
Absolutely. I just am so impressed with all that you have been involved with and, taking your passions to make an impact in many communities, not just in Florida. You have impacted communities in Texas and is it Minnesota?
Michigan, yes.
Michigan.
Hmm.
Okay, I knew somewhere up in the Midwest region, but I couldn't remember exactly.
Yes. I have hair salons in Texas and Michigan. No longer in Texas. So that's when I started serving um, the seniors in Texas. And I did represent Texas in the United States pageant, which is a wonderful pageant system as well. And I represented Michigan for the national pageant. And my roots are from Michigan. That's where I came from. I've been serving in the domestic violence there as well. I'm trained and certified. I work right alongside in the shelters with the women, being able to tell them and help them with the resources and going in the pantry, dividing clothes, doing hair, all kinds of stuff. So I'm very hands on with the domestic violence shelters, and I've been doing that for a while. I just want to encourage people that no matter what you're doing, there's something that we can do to give back. And we think that we're doing something for someone else, but truly, it does so much for us. It enriches us, and I don't know. I just think my life goes really easy. It doesn't mean I don't have adversity, because I do. I've had a
Sure.
lot of adversity, but serving other people really keeps me at a humble keel. You know what I mean? That my problems, whatever they are, they're not that big. They're really high maintenance,
Hmm.
compared to what some people really experience on a day-to-day basis.
Right. A new adventure that you've just recently taken on is the VP position with the I Am Love, and I'm really excited to be able to pass that torch on over to you for that position. Is there any particular programming or activities that you have going on with it that you'd like to share?
Yes, Trina, it is such an honor to, step into that role of the vice president for I Am Love. I'm a little overwhelmed. Like, that was my first time. I did start a nonprofit myself last year, and it's kind of like on the down low, but I Am Love is very passionate to my heart. I love Joanna. Of course, when we were at the United States, she was crowned Miss Woman United States, and rightfully so, because she's so dedicated to people and community and dedicated to love. But it is her baby, and as the vice president, we are actively creating different outreaches. And right now, what I'm working on, because I'm in the shelters, is I'm collecting. My clients are collecting for me. And we don't have to get them at hotels and stuff, because I'm getting samples. So sample shampoo, soaps, conditioners, all the different toiletries, little toothbrushes and little toothpaste, things like that. And I'm collecting them. And what we're doing is we're making care packages for those in need. And I would like to do it, across the nation, to get everybody involved, because you can get people to what they're doing. My clients are purchasing them online. So you can purchase samples, which I did not know this. My clients informed me that you can purchase like a case of little miniature shampoos or little miniature conditioners. And
Oh,
so they're
wow.
bringing them to my salon in Michigan and in Florida. And we are creating care packages to take them because when the women leave the shelters,
Uh-huh.
and when they're at the shelters with their children, they don't have the necessities. Some of these women just leave with a shirt on their backs. So these care packages are going to give them, so that they can have their hygiene stuff, in addition to passing them out on the streets for people that don't have them. Because some people don't even go to shelters, they just stay on the streets, and we don't understand it. But they're afraid to go to these shelters sometimes, and so they stay
Right.
out. So that's what I'm doing actively right now. In addition, yearly, I Am Love has a momentum where they do a fundraiser, and the fundraiser gets people to whatever you want to do in your community, but just to get moving. So whether it's biking, hiking, walking, whatever it is that you like to do, to get moving, in your community, get some people together, and then get people to donate to you for every mile or just for the event, so that we can raise money for IamLove.org. And what that money goes to, it goes to training and education for people, and even scholarships for women to go through the program to learn self-care and overcoming adversity and obstacles.
Absolutely. I know it's one of my favorite things. Last year, I actually was in California and did a hike that I felt like it was about to kill me. It was a pretty steep hike. But you're absolutely right. I know that they're looking for individuals from different states to kind of take lead and lead one of those Cruise with Love. And I believe the date is like July 23rd. So you can definitely put that on your calendar and go to iamlove.org. It's under their events page, and contact I Am Love to get signed up as an ambassador to lead a Cruise with Love for that day. It would be a great opportunity to, just get involved. And like you said, movement is key.
Yeah, and it's good for us too. I remember when I got involved in it before, I was on part of the board. I got involved in it, and I remember I was on vacation, but you know what? I got on that treadmill for 10 miles, and it was like, I think, 2 hours straight. But you know what? I was so excited, and my Facebook family got involved, and they donated funds towards me through Venmo and PayPal. So in turn that I can donate the funds to I Am Love. So it's a great organization, and Cruise with Love. Everybody like should get involved. It's just a great cause to
Absolutely.
help
Yeah. And
people.
I know a couple of years ago, I did a fitness with a friend of mine who's a personal trainer, and we just did an online fitness class. So definitely could do a Facebook Live challenge and get everybody involved, and they can donate right there on your Facebook, and then you turn around and give it to I Am Love. Yeah, great
Yeah, that's so
opportunity.
great.
Yes. So, are there any other activities or fundraisers that you have going on that you would like assistance with from anyone, whether it's here in the U.S. or international?
Well, but I am involved. I'm involved in a lot, but I am involved with RAIN. Okay, and that is for awareness of abuse and sexual abuse, and that this month is Sexual Abuse Awareness a month. And so I would just invite everybody in, to get involved, and you can make a donation to RAIN. So it builds resources for victims. In addition, you know praying too. Of course, I'm an ordained minister, so there's things that we can do to pray. Pray for victims that are still in bondage. Pray for those that are broken and defeated, and get into a cause. So that's where my resources go to. Um, so there's not anything that I really need people to get on board to donate a cause to me, but I do would like everybody to donate some part of their time every month, a part of their treasure every month, and a part of their talent. There's always something that we can do, that you can donate to an organization or an individual every month, that we can make a difference if we just give. And it's just about loving our neighbors, just loving the people around you, loving the people in the community, because it's easy to love the people that love us. But it's the best gift is that when we love and are giving to people that cannot give back to us.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times people think about when you say giving, they automatically think of monetary value. And it doesn't have to be. It could be your time. Your time is the most valuable gift that you can give somebody.
Yeah, I agree. It's just your time to I'm sorry, volunteer for a senior, or you see a single mom in a restaurant with some children. You could just pick up their lunch, even hold the door for somebody. Or if you know a single mom in the community, send her a gift card, because there's so many women that are raising their children alone. And that's not any directed to men or anything like that, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to take care of the children everywhere, no matter who's taking care of them, and try to take some of the burden off of whoever the caretaker is. And it's just a nice gesture. Gift cards
Right.
are always great, to give to anybody, even to a senior, or somebody that that's struggling, maybe your neighbor.
Right. Getting to know your neighbor. That, that alone is just, you don't know who your neighbors are unless you get out there and you meet them.
It's so true. And even, I mean, we don't, as a culture, we don't meet our neighbors that often. We don't speak to people at airports anymore, airplanes. I mean, we're just so like, we're just buried in
We're
our
very
phones.
tunnel. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're right. It's not like when you and I were growing up. I remember, you go to the neighbor to ask for a cup of sugar. That was the normal back then. Nowadays, no way. You would not really even think of that.
No, no, I'm
I don't.
barely
I
like,
don't use sugar, but I can't recall the last time that I even purchased sugar or flour. I have neither of those things in my house. But, it's the point that we have lost the art of getting to know our neighbors. And it
Yeah.
really is a lost art if you think about it, because it's conversation, it's interpersonal communication, and learning how to help each other. And I think that that in itself could be a movement. Get out and get to know your neighbors.
Yes, I have lots of neighbors, and you know what? We barely talk to each other. When we pass each other, in the complex, it's just amazing to me. Like, I'm in a condominium complex, and we barely, like, it's like hi, and our heads are down. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yes, yes. Wow. Well, is there any other things that we haven't talked about that you would like to share with our audience?
I would. I would like to encourage women everywhere, young and old. Doesn't matter how old you are, but you know what? If you have never gotten into pageantry, I would just like to encourage you to think about it. There's so many amazing systems, and the relationships you develop, and the sisterhoods that you develop, and the ideas and the creative energy to really just get involved in life and be a world changer. These are women in pageantry that, they have nonprofits. They've written and authored books, best-selling books. Like Trina right here, she has a podcast. She's oh my gosh, I heard the list of Trina like goes on. She is so talented with technology and putting people together, and pages and groups, and I mean, she really has been a pillar and a backbone, like, in our sisterhood, to really initiate organization, and just I'm sorry, I'm lost for words. It's a lot to
That
me, so
it's
I
all good.
recognize you and I salute you so much.
Oh,
But
thank you.
I just would encourage women everywhere to really get involved in pageants. And it's not about the prettiest face. It's about making an impact in your community. It's about making a difference in your world, and it's about leaving a legacy. And I don't know, like, how many women want to leave a legacy for their children. And it's just a fabulous opportunity to really just excel in life.
You're absolutely right. And you know what I've really loved? I started competing in 98 in my late 20s. And the evolution of pageantry has really come a long way. And now you see women from all different backgrounds, all different shapes and sizes, and it's just beautiful to see the outpouring of love and support of each other. And you're absolutely right. I think it's all about that sisterhood and how we can collaborate to help each other and to make our communities better.
Yes, I agree. And I'm just so honored, Trina, that you invited me onto your show to spend time with you, and just speak to your audience. And I just want to encourage everybody to get out there, choose joy every day, choose victory, and really just choose to have an amazing life no matter what you're doing or where you're at in life.
Absolutely. What I would like to ask is, when we're finished with this show, if there's any links that you would like to share with the audience, your contact information, a website, or whatever you would like to share with viewers on how to reach you or any of the organizations that you support. If you can share that with me, and I'll make sure that it gets put in the comments below so that people know how to support and make their community or your community even better.
Absolutely. And I just want to encourage anybody too, if you need prayer, I am a prayer warrior. And so you can also reach out with me. Trina will have that link. And I am never ever too busy, never too busy to pray with anybody, because I like to stand in the gap, and I know that God answers prayers, and I know He delivers people. He is not confused. He's not in the surprise of our current climate. He's not in a recession. He doesn't care what's in your bank account, and he doesn't care about your level of education. because one touch of God's favor and he can catapult you into victory on top of victory and glory to glory. And let me stand in agreement with you for whatever your prayer needs are.
Absolutely. And I can testify on that because I know I've reached out to Tina and said, hey, can you pray, for this or that? And she says, absolutely. And, it's like immediately. So I appreciate you and all that you've done, for God's work and, that light that you bring to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Trina. It's been a joy to be with you this morning.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in and listening to Community Coffee and our special guest, Tina Sarcevich, our current Miss Florida Classic Universe. And please just follow her on her social media and see where her journey takes you. All right. Well, you all have a wonderful rest of your day and have a great week.